Well, the latest news is after we've heard about Hillary collapsing and all of her health problems, that her replacement could potentially be Michelle Obama as the next president of the United States of America. And I've got Ronnie with GetTheTea.com on with me. Ronnie, have you heard about this latest news about Michelle Obama?
Yes, I have. I don't know if it's true. There's a few statements, obviously, on the internet about it. But if it is true, if there's any reality to it, and it's not just a rumor, there's any fact to it, that's got to be the scariest replacement that I know of, because Obama is really going to be in the background of this. So he's going to be a dictator, and she's going to be, obviously carrying out what he wants to do or what they and them want to do. So, it's mind-boggling how corrupt we are right now. It's like you go, oh my gosh, do we need to go to another country? Of course, they're corrupt too. So, it's just really sad.
Yeah. And what do you think will happen to our healthcare and our nation as far as that goes as a whole if Michelle Obama or Hillary, either one, is elected as president of the United States, Ronnie?
Well, I think it's called uncare. We don't care about your health care. So what's going to happen to it? Well, we can see that, we have Obamacare. So if we have Michelle Obama, what's the last name again? So we're going to have connection to Obama, and which means the health care is going to, it's already unraveling, as I say, like a cheap suit. So it's going to continue to do that. The only doctors that we're going to have left are corrupt doctors that don't care about putting anything but crud in your system. And so I see it as we're going to be in some big trouble. Now they and them could switch up and make her like the anti-Barack, and she does a lot of good things. So everybody gets behind her and says, oh, wow, she's a good girl. Yay. That could happen. But I don't know. I don't know if they and them are that smart. I think they'll just continue their Hitler world and keep going down that direction.
Well, I know according to a news article on Morning News USA, it says that CNN reported that Michelle Obama will for sure leave the White House when Barack Obama's term ends in January of 2017. She had announced that she has no intentions of returning, and she made it clear that she has no interest in the presidency. She wants to be free from partisan controversy while serving the public. But then again, what do we believe? Because we know that, if we look at people like Hillary Clinton, for example, that our government does nothing but lie to us again and again. And Hillary, certainly, I don't know where she stands with, in fact, that's another question I had for you. With all these health problems that she's having and collapsing and so forth, do you think that she still stands a good chance of being elected?
No, I don't. If you read CNN, you're going to find out that she's winning. She's great. She's wonderful. She's probably going to enter the next Olympics, that kind of stuff. But the reality of truth is, no, she's losing. Trump's winning right now in the polls. And, again, he's maybe not my favorite character, but I take him, 10-1 over Hillary. And Hillary cannot. She has major health problems. They're saying there's some speculation that it's pneumonia, but I don't think so. It doesn't look like, and again, I'm not a doctor, so it doesn't look like pneumonia. It looks like something very serious. And how can we have, and I've said this too also, is for some reason, if she does make it in, or Trump for that matter, we need to keep an eye on the vice presidents, because we need to keep an eye on them as the election goes forward, because they might want to take Trump out if he does win. And if Hillary wins, I don't think she'll be able to finish her term because of her health. So they might be sneakily doing something by having the vice presidents come in, and they're really the culprit for running the country.
Well, there has been talk about, and I don't know if you heard about it, I'm sure you did, about some accident she was in an airplane, and that they're denying. And a lot of people think that she may have suffered from some head injury as a result of that. and that's what all this stuff is about. But who really knows? I mean, who knows what really happened? I know that you and I were almost certain that Hillary was going to get elected, and that was before all these health problems came out in the news. So now, do you feel that it could very well be, be different than that? That it may not be Hillary now, of course, but in fact could be Trump that gets elected as opposed to Hillary, as we had previously thought?
I want it to be different. I had a dream, and not that dreams are absolutely positive, but I had a dream that she was president. So that kind of affected me a little bit. And, it doesn't mean it's true. Could have been a nightmare. It was a nightmare. But Trump is leading right now from what I can tell in the polls. And, the only place, again, you go to CNN, he's losing. He's an idiot. He can't even tie his shoes because he's so stupid, according to CNN. But they are pro-Hillary. And so I hope Trump wins. And I hope there's two things I'm looking at. I'm hoping, A, Trump wins, and B, that he carries out just 30 or 40% of the stuff that he says he's going to do. Our nation would change immensely. And I know one thing that I kind of believe is they and them, as they call themselves on Sean Hannity, the establishment, they don't like Trump because Trump's calling them out on a lot of things. Now, granted, he's kind of a part of them, but not in the greatest of ways. And he's a wild card. And I think they want him not in office. And I've heard many rumors. And again, you can't base anything on rumors, but I have heard there is a secret group of, we'll call them people, that are not going to allow the corruption to step forth anymore. So that could play into things. And if there's any truth in that, I like that play better than any of them.
Yeah, and you and I talked about what could potentially happen to the healthcare system. In fact, I think we had mentioned if Hillary became president, that they might take over even the natural type healthcare industry and so forth. But if Trump is elected, being that it's all a system, as you and I both know, and it's all up to the elitist, do you think that our healthcare industry would still be, in dire straits like it would if Hillary were elected, if Donald Trump was the president?
I think, Donald says he's going to remove our healthcare system the way it is right now. So I don't know if that will be true or not. I've seen some sides of Trump where he's had to bow. There was people that he had to not nominate, but he had to basically say, give him the big hand. Yeah, this guy is okay. I think one of them was Paul Ryan. And you could tell he really didn't want to do that. He really, really didn't want to do that. So he did bow down to that. I think another thing that he had to bow down to, that it was really not Trump-based, it was establishment-based, was Barack Obama was born in the United States, which that is not true. But he bowed down to that to say that on, obviously in the public, so that they and them were okay. So there's some things that he's bowing down to they and them. And maybe he's picking what he's going to bow down to so that he can get other things accomplished. And I do understand that, because the establishment, somewhat run, a bunch of geeks with a lot of money, they somewhat run this world, and you can't just take them out in one swing, So if he's very wise, he's going to pick his battles. So there's some things you have to bow down to, and there's other things you pick up and you say, okay, I got to carry my sword on this one. So maybe he's going to carry his sword on the healthcare issue, but who cares whether Barack Obama was, born in the United States or not? So he, who cares? I'll go ahead and tell him that, yeah, he was born in the United States, but he obviously was not. So, what can you say?
Well, there's some people who actually believe that Barack Obama will never leave the office, which I don't see how that'll happen. And I also had heard some time ago that Barack Obama wants to get elected as some major part of the United Nations. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, the same thing with Bill Clinton, same thing, corruption. They want to keep these people, and Barack Obama is very corrupt. And so I think they want to keep the corruption going. But again, if we're going to grab rumor, I want to grab bad or good rumor, not bad rumor. So if we're going to go and believe that there's actually a secret group of people that are ready to move on the corrupt, the elitist, the establishment, as we call them, that would be a wonderful thing. And I heard they're very scared that the establishment is shaking in their boots, and that's why they're rushing to put their people. I think the Joker in the Batman says, "Where were your people?" So I think they're rushing for their people to be put in positions so they don't lose their so-called power. So we're going to see, this next, let's see, what are we in September? So October, November, December, January. This next 2 to 4 months is going to be a whopper. And if it is my opinion, and I could be wrong, if they lose too much ground, and I'm talking about they and them, they lose too much ground, they will push the buttons for the economy to collapse. Or there'll be some kind of major catastrophe in the United States. They'll get something where our eyes go somewhere else. They always did. Bill Clinton had an affair in office and, having fun right there on his White House table, so, and that way that the whole nation could watch porn while, all our warfare was being messed with and going to China. So they will try to take, it's my opinion, they're going to take our eyes to another place while they keep their corruption in order. That's their only shot at keeping the corrupt going, because people are getting wise. They're saying, we don't want this anymore. We don't want the healthcare anymore. We don't want your GMOs anymore. We don't want, healthcare starts with nutrition. And this is why the big corporate companies that are feeding us, cow manure, and literally, this is why they're all ranting. They're like, "Hey, we're losing ground here. People are waking up. We got to do something. We make mandatory. Hide all the labels. Whatever you got to do, please help us, because we're making billions and we need to continue to do that." So the fuel is about ready to go out of the fire.
Well, yeah, and Hillary Clinton is a huge supporter of Monsanto, which is definitely not good. And here I have a clip pulled up from the Political Insider about her health. And it says there's been wild speculation for years about Hillary Clinton's health condition. We know she takes some medicine for her heart and blood, but she has so far refused to release her medical records. And I have to agree with this next statement. It says the American people deserve to know the health of every candidate running for president. Hillary Clinton is 68 years old. She's applying for the most stressful job in the world. So, where are our rights to know these things? And she's refusing to release her medical records. So it must be something pretty serious, just as you were alluding to a little bit ago, that you think it's more than what they're saying.
Oh, guarantee it. I remember her as Secretary of State just passing out at a meeting, just head down on the ground, poof, So this is not something that is just started lately, and again, it's, I'm not trying to dog Hillary personally. If she doesn't feel good, I feel bad for her. I really do. I don't like anybody to be sick. But on the same token, maybe the outsides are all catching up. In other words, when we do bad things in the world, when we do corrupt things, when we do garbage things, so on, so bad decisions, some people call it karma, it all comes back to you. So her health, when you're doing wrong things, and that's something we could talk about someday too, but when you're doing wrong things, it affects your health. You go around screwing people and being corrupt and taking from people and so on and so forth, you end up sick. And because it's not what you're supposed to do, your body it knows it. And so there's a battle that goes on between your emotions. Most people that have problems like that, go through a major divorce, a loss, child, whatever, they will end up having major gut problems. And they'll go to the doctor, and the doctor will never address the actual emotional problem. He'll just say, "So what's going on?" Stomach ache, "Oh, okay, well, here's what you take." Never saying, why do you have a stomach ache? Did you eat something? Has this been going on for a long time? Is this, is there anything major going on in your life? Blah, blah, blah. No, doctors don't talk about that. Whether it's they don't have time or it's not in their computer, who knows? But they don't talk about the emotional state. So people don't they take a few pills and it basically coats it for a little while, but the stomach ache really never leaves. So you have to take care of things on the inside if you want things to get well. That's the truth.
Yeah, that's for sure. In fact, why don't you tell our listeners who may not have heard about some of the products you offer, particularly your tea, on getthetea.com, and tell them about your YouTube channel, your healthcare YouTube channel where you discuss health topics.
Well, my YouTube channel, it's just a little YouTube channel. I'm just a little guy out there, but I have to say it's growing. So I'm not as huge as you are, Lynn, but maybe someday when I grow up, I can be.
I don't know about that, but thanks.
But, it is growing. And what it is, I do 3 to 5 minute videos basically on product, on healthcare stuff. You'll hear me tote a little bit of opinion on healthcare and, what's going on, what we need to watch out for, and some other products that sometimes I don't even carry that you should have that really, like I just did one on apple cider vinegar. That is, that's a beautiful product. It's not something you buy at my website, but it's something you can go get in the store, and it does amazing things for your body. So I do stuff like that because I don't want people thinking I'm just all about the buck. But my products, I have to say I'm a little proud about it because the tea is a wonderful product. And for people that have colon problems, and even if you don't have colon problems, this is a wonderful product because when you keep your colon clean, you really help yourself from not getting cancerous things and carcinogenics get in there. It's really a cleanse. It's a mild detox, which means a mild cleanse. You're getting rid of yuck in your body. And when you do that, you have a much better stand a chance to not carry anything, what I call intruders, which turn into cancer, tumors, and every other thing. So if you're got a pretty clean bill of health and you say, well, I really don't need the tea, you better think that over because the tea is what's going to keep you with that clean bill of health that you have right now. So that's our number one seller is our tea. And people say, how much, how long do we take it? And I say, you know what? You take it forever because until the day that our world turns around and that we have some great food coming back into the world, we need to war up and war against the intruders of our body. Vaccines are scary, and pharmaceuticals. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to come against pharmaceuticals, but on the same token, they are synthetic. They're not plant-based, and so sometimes they mask something else that's going on in your body. So, in fact, the tea is so powerful. I would tell you if you are taking pharmaceuticals or medicine, you need to take it 2 hours before or after because it will literally see the pharmaceutical as an intruder and go after it, take it out of your body. So you don't want to, if you need your heart medicine, you need whatever it is you're taking, then you want to make sure you're drinking the tea 2 hours before or after. So the tea is a wonderful thing. And the second thing I'm real excited about is our colostrum. And we had a company that we carried their colostrum. It was a very good product. But sometimes people and companies stretch the truth a little bit, and I'm not like that. I'm going to tell you what it does, and I'll tell you what it doesn't do. So we came up with our own brand of colostrum. It's, in my opinion, a better product. And it's less money. So then there you go. Hey, I get excited about less money because then people go, oh, I've got a budget and I got to be careful. And I understand. So and there's always free shipping on any order over $100. And of course, this helps your show and your show helps me. So it's kind of a win-win situation. So I get excited because I jacked up my system so many years ago. And I get excited about helping people because my own health has changed and I've lost a lot of weight and much healthier now. I'm doing things I never did. So, I just went paddleboarding a couple of weeks ago, had a great time on the ocean and it's nice when you have less weight, it's less weight to balance on a board. So it's great. So I love it. I love to help people.
Yeah. And your products have really helped me, in my health and to cause me to feel a lot better. I used to feel so horrible all the time, and it really cleaned me out and made me feel so much better. So anyone who's listening, I promise you, if you try Ronnie's products, his products are awesome and they do work. And I've tried so many products out there that I went and purchased from the health food store and purchased from specials I saw on the internet and so many things, and nothing worked. But your products have really worked. In fact, I know people personally who have gotten on your products and have experienced wonderful results with your products.
Well, and the other thing, too, about the products is all my products are non-GMO, and they're organic if I can make them. Like, there's certain extracts you can't have an organic stamp because the way that it's produced. But I don't have any garbage. I don't have any fillers. I don't use fillers in any of the products that we do. We have some that are just exclusive to Get the Tea, to Life Change Tea. So we really have some incredible products. And, of course, people might be going, hey, what about that YouTube channel? It's Health Matters Now. That's the name of the channel, Health Matters Now on YouTube. And some of these products, and I don't like doing product reviews all the time because it's kind of like, oh, look at this now, look at this, now look at it. It's like, I like doing all kinds of stuff, but you want to know about certain products. We have astaxanthin just came out, and this is a powerful just for Get the Tea, and it is for your eyes. And it's a wonderful, brand new product. It's for your eyes, and it does incredible things. And it has quite a few different ingredients. And so it's kind of like my own mastermind here to help people's eyes, because we kind of take our vision for granted sometimes. And so I wanted to go after somebody that maybe is having a little bit of vision problems. You know, all of a sudden, in fact, I did a video on it for your eyes only. And it's funny because, you know, as you get older, I've always been 20/20 and actually 2 over 20/20. So I was a Hawkeye my whole life. And all of a sudden you start getting older and bam, you can't see. You wake up and you're like, where's my dresser? You know, it's like, that's really crazy. So for me, it was like, you know what? I need to get readers, and pretty soon your readers get a little stronger and stronger. So I want to see if, you know.
I know what that's about. I've experienced that myself.
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't see my hand in front of my face, you know. So I've got some stuff that'll help with this, and help with retinopathy, help with night vision, all kinds of stuff. And it's called astaxanthin, and we just started carrying it. It just formulated it about a month ago, so I'm real excited about this product. I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Well, and you should be, because your products, like I said, are great. And for those of you listening, go to getthetea.com and support me by going there and purchasing Ronnie's products. But, you know, I wouldn't be recommending them if they truly did not work, and they really do. And his main product, as I said, is on the getthetea.com is the tea. And the tea just really cleans you out. It gets rid of poisons and toxins out of your body that you didn't even know were there. And poisons and toxins can cause all sorts of illness and fatigue, cancer, and just about everything that's bad. And his tea will clean out your system and get all the gunk out of you. It's like a drain that gets clogged after time, and it gets clogged with all this junk. And you can either, baby the drain and just, temporarily fix it, where you have to keep fixing it periodically, or you can just go in and clean all the garbage out and make it work properly. Otherwise, your drain's going to keep backing up. Well, when the drain backs up, all those poisons have to go somewhere. And they can come out in your skin. They can come out in other areas of your body and create all sorts of other problems. So for everybody listening, go to getthetea.com. It's unfortunate that Hillary doesn't know about your products, Ronnie,
Really? I almost said that, but so many people dislike her. But, that's true. If she had, like she has blood problems and what have you, we have another product that I want to quickly mention, because if you notice my website, you scroll around, you'll find out that I don't carry every supplement there is, and I probably never will. I kind of like to target mishaps. We'll call them mishaps because I have to be careful with my language. I try to target mishaps, things that are happening to our body, and target those naturally so that we can bring those down. Things like blood pressure problems or sugar problems, whatever. And I try to go after that kind of stuff, eyesight, heart stuff, cardiovascular, that kind of thing. And I'll tell you about a product that is, and I'm going to just tell you it happened to me. So I went to the doctor a few months ago and I've had blood pressure problems, maybe it's the stress. No. So I had blood pressure problems. So I ran 160, 170 over 80, and that's not like real bad, but it's definitely super elevated. And so they're like, well, you better get on to some pharmaceuticals. And I love my doctor. She knows who I am. And she's like, I know you don't want to get on any of our pharmaceuticals. And I'm like, no. So I said, well, give me a chance to turn this around. And if I don't, then I'll get on what you tell me to get on. Okay. So anyway, long and the short of it, I went and I found this product called Ali-C. And it is like equal to 34 to 40 cloves of garlic, except you don't smell like garlic. You don't burp garlic. It doesn't leak out your skin. It just, I had one person, they're like, it stinks. And I'm like, what do you think? This is crazy. You can't have like, oh, this smells like lavender. It doesn't work like that. Most bitter herbs are the ones that are the best for you. So anyway, I started taking this Ali-C. So I'm going to speed this up here. So basically, I've been doing my blood pressure now. This is, it took me 45 days to turn this around. My blood pressure now is 110 over 73, which is totally normal. Perfect blood pressure is supposedly 120 over 80. So I'm doing very wonderful. And all I did was take Ali-C. So that's a beautiful thing. This is why I love to do what I do, because I can put natural plants inside of your body and change things. And so, there's some things we have to have pharmaceutical doctors, whatever, and I believe in them, but our system has become corrupt. In fact, I say this many times. If we had the proper nutrition, we would not need pharmaceuticals and we would not need supplements. We would be fine. But that is not the way in the case of today.
And you're definitely right on that. We do need to start looking at our body as a whole instead of fixing one part. When you go to the medical doctor, and thank God for medical doctors, but when you go to the medical doctor, they oftentimes look at your body as parts and pieces instead of a whole person. And when you treat your body right and you get proper rest and proper exercise and you deal with your stress appropriately, which, hey, I would say a good majority of us don't really deal with our stress properly because there's just so much of it this day and age. And, when you take the right supplements, you can begin to feel the difference in your body. And unfortunately, our regular medical industry doesn't do that. They just put you on more and more drugs that oftentimes, destroy your liver, destroy your digestive system, give you ulcers. Yeah. Then you need other drugs to medicate those problems. Don't you kind of believe that to be the case as well, Ronnie, about, people who get on all these products that they get from their doctors, and it just makes them sicker and sicker and sicker?
Well, one of the things I always let people know is say, we own our body, not them. They're trying to own our body, but we do. So when a doctor says, you have X problem and you need to take this pharmaceutical, just say, hey, okay, so what are the effects of that? What's the dangers of that? And watch them. They'll be like, oh, well, you might have to read up on that. So, and this is the thing that really I have a problem with is, the doctors don't tell you what the problems are, what the adverse effects are. So we need to do this. We need to talk to our doctors and we need to say, so is this going to be okay if I take, and don't just ask them, will this be okay? Because the doctors will say, yeah, it'll be fine. That's why I'm prescribing it. No. What are the findings? What are the adverse effects? Remember, okay, and this is a wonderful quote. I love this quote. It says, the doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. That was Thomas Edison.
Wow. And it's so true, that we do need our medical doctors. Again, I'm not trying to talk them down or anything like that. There's a lot of good doctors out there. But I think at the same time that we should also try to pursue natural ways to get ourselves better. God did give us natural things as well to help ourselves in the process. Not that we'll never get sick or never need a medical doctor, but I guarantee most of us would feel better and get sick less often if we just took precautionary measures by getting on some good products like the ones that you offer that would care for our whole entire body.
Well, I think it's important to know that people are waking up. When I go on a show like yours, and like I've talked a bit about Ali C, I've talked a bit about the colostrum and obviously the tea. And if you notice the specials on the website, and we like to do specials because if you're going to buy 2 or 3 products, you should save some money. So we do that stuff. If you notice all the specials, almost all of the specials, I mean, there's a few, but almost all the specials involve our tea. Why? Because even those people that go, I don't want the tea, I know what it does for you, and I want to get you on it. If I've got you on the tea, your body's going to do better. And this is the same. Colostrum is a wonderful thing for the stomach. I did a lot of talking about the Ali C, which is what we'll call it the garlic pills, but they're, it doesn't taste like it and all that kind of stuff. Every time I do a talk on Ali C, I sell out. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, we're out of Ali C. So, this is something where, people are starting to say, I want that. I want that. I want the colostrum. I want the tea. I want this product. My pine bark flies, because moringa flies. And it's busy and it does well because people are starting to say, you know what? So you're saying this right here will do X, Y, Z. I'm saying not only do I have the information on my website, but you can actually go research those elements and those products and herbs and find out what they do. And actually, I'm downplaying what a lot of the herbs do. In other words, if I printed everything that some of these herbs do, you would never stop reading. That's all you'd be doing is reading. That's how much they do. That's how excited I get about our trees and our herbs out there, which were, again, created before man. That's why I get so excited about it. We have a pine tree sitting in California that's over 5,000 years old. So what do you think the DNA properties of that tree is? So we have to look at this and say, okay, so if a moringa tree or a cinnamon tree or an olive tree is going to give us, a pine tree is going to give us these elements and these herbs and these leaves to go into us, and it changes our body for health. Who put that together? That's powerful, powerful stuff. And if people can learn about it and get educated, and that's what I like to do is educate people. We try to send flyers with your products so you go, hey, it does this, and it does this, and it does this. Do they give you flyers with what you take in pharmaceuticals? No, you don't know the goods or the bads. So this is something where I go, man, you can get educated and you can change your health. And it doesn't happen overnight. How long did it take to jack up your body? You jacked it up over years and years and years. So these people say, oh, I tried your pills. I took 3 pills and it didn't fix me. It's like, you know what? You need to bring your frequency up just a little bit because, 3 pills are not going to fix anybody. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like it.
We'll be right back after a short word from our sponsor.
Hi, folks. In a world of GMO, genetically modified organisms, that is, chemicals, processed foods, and a healthcare system that's unraveling like a cheap suit, it's time to prepare. God created herbs, and herbs help man. Our body can heal itself, just sometimes we need assistance. You need some help? GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Our mild detox is quite powerful with its unique blend of 8 different herbs. And if you're looking for more, our non-GMO supplements will help you with different needs you might have. Health should be a top priority. Take care of your health naturally. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Give your body a treat. Let the herbs do their thing naturally. Read all the testimonies on the website, GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Sickness and viruses are like intruders, and herbs are like warriors. Let the tea work for you. That's GetTheTea.com.
We're back with Ronnie from GetTheTea.com. Well, listen to this. Listen to this. I don't know if you were aware of this, but the U.S. is ranked as the 3rd most depressed country in the world. Now, check this out. According to the World Health Organization, the United States is among the world's most depressed countries. Using the metric of quality years of life that are lost because of disability or death, our country came in at 3rd place in terms of unipolar depressive disorders. Only India and China fared worse. These 3 countries are also the ones that have been affected the most by bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and anxiety. The National Alliance on Mental Illness reports that approximately 1 out of every 5 American adults experience mental illness of some type every year, but only 41% of these people receive mental health care. Even those who do get treatment do not always find their symptoms improving. And in the case of those taking antidepressants, because doctors hand out antidepressants like candy anymore, their symptoms got even worse. And the World Health Organization estimates that 350 million people around the world suffer from depression. It's considered the leading cause of disability on the planet. Now, what are the reasons why Americans are so depressed? Well, lack of exercise, poor diet, stress, and sitting in front of their little iPhones and little, game things every day in the computer constantly, and just eating and not breathing in clean air or getting fresh water would also be another reason. But I think people are stressing over their health as well and having a lot of anxiety about, well, what's wrong with me? Why don't I feel good? And why isn't my doctor giving me answers to these problems?
There's a 4-letter word that people are stressing about, and they sometimes don't even know that they're addicted to this word, and it's a part of their life, and you need to change things. And that 4-letter word is fear. F-E-A-R. Fear. Okay? Now, what's interesting is, I've done 12 years of radio. I retired this last year, and I reported on very fearful things. And let me tell you something. I believe this, and I'll say it for me. For me, made me sick. Because the stuff I would report on, I'd always say, I'm going to get the truth. I'm going to get the truth. And I wouldn't run on rumor. I wouldn't run on, I would get the truth. And I did. And let me tell you something. When you're talking about being depressed, you say, okay, well, I'm depressed because why? Well, they're dropping chemicals into the air, and which they call a chemtrail, geoengineering. And that's getting caught in the water system. It's changing my health for the worst. People are getting sick. They're getting younger. They're dying younger. And we can go on and on with all this stuff, right? People aren't getting along. People are meaner than they used to be. There's road rage. I can sit here and go for another 20 minutes really quickly, get everybody scared and get everybody bummed, because that's how the world is turning. But it doesn't have to turn that way. We can change things, because if people don't realize, when you exercise, you can take so much stress out of your life just by exercising. Just by walking around the block a couple times, you can take out so much stress in your life, and you wouldn't believe how great it feels. And then all of a sudden you look at things, and you might look at a plant or a tree or look at a dog, and you go, wow, that's kind of cool. And all of a sudden everything just kind of changes. And when we do, and with the same thing when we eat right, the same thing when we take supplements. So you can change and kind of remove some of this. You're not going to remove all of it, but you can and just, there's certain things that you shouldn't be grasping to. And we have to realize this in our own body. And ever since I stopped doing the radio, and, I still know about things going on. I still comment about things, and I'm still, understanding the information, but I don't sit there and get in a hot tub with it. I just know it, move on, and try to, go paddleboarding, go do stuff, do stuff for your wife or your kids. And next thing you know, life is good. And really life is good. And they and them that run these countries and these, all they care about is negativity. That's who they are. And if anybody's scared, let me tell you, they are. And they're trying to push their fear on us. We just shouldn't take it.
Exactly. And, I think, and with what I do, I think it's important that people know the truth of what's happening so that they can be prepared and not live in fear about things. And when we don't acknowledge the truth about what's going on, and we don't know the truth about what's happening, and then suddenly things happen that you're not prepared for, well, then that's going to cause stress, panic, and fear. So exactly. I think people need to wise up and open up their eyes to what is happening, so that not because, I want them to be afraid. I don't want them to be afraid.
No, I think information, especially the alternative of media is important, because instead of having this corrupt crap that we listen to that really, I don't care how long Taylor Swift's dress is and what color it is. Who gives a rip? And that's their idea of like good news. Is like, the good news is, Cruz didn't go to his little church this weekend. Who cares? I could care less about Tom Cruise. So that's like the good news. And the rest, it's like, did you hear about a bomb here? And there's a bomb there, blah, 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 all this stuff going on. And the alternative news, I think, for me is that, that's where I station my stuff in, was the fact that, you do need to prepare. So if you hear about something and maybe it won't come to pass, great. But if it does, you kind of know, I knew that was coming, instead of like all of a sudden look on the television and go, oh my God, and you're having a panic attack. You go, we kind of knew that. Kind of knew the economy was going to fall. Kind of knew that. Kind of saw this coming. Kind of saw that coming. It helps us. But so I'm very much behind, Lynn, what you do and others like you. But when it comes to like mass media, oh my God! I mean, talk about fear. It's crazy. I mean, all they want to, every time there's some kind of hope, like, hey, maybe Trump will take. Oh no, Trump's not going to take over. Hillary's going to take over, according to CNN. So, just we have to kind of void ourselves of mass media stuff.
That's right. And a lot of the secular media, even Fox News and CNN and all that, they're constantly reporting a bunch of lies to us and, reporting things that would increase panic and fear and then come to find out none of it's true. Or they either report the truth but keep certain details from us. And they're all in the same game, of news and media and owned by the same people. None of them are really quote unquote good. So thank God for a lot of the alternative news outlets that we have today that do report the truth. What's sad is there's a lot of them as well that also, take advantage of it and post crazy, dumb stuff that's not even true. That's just plain stupid. Like,
you just have to read through the lines with that. You got to know which one's which.
Yeah, like Planet X is going to hit America tomorrow or something dumb. So we got stupid stuff that we know is fake, like massive alien sighting, a UFO landed in the backyard and 20 aliens were seen with flashlights, just crazy.
And they picked up Tom Cruise.
Yeah, after they ordered Get the Tea. They went to Get the Tea and they ordered supplements. Mass supplements missing from Ronnie on getthetea.com. Aliens.
Aliens have taken my product, guys. I can't fill the orders. Dang it.
Yeah,
I knew this would happen. I knew this. Lynn told me it was going to happen.
But the question would be, did they get better and did they get healthier and did they have a better bowel movement after they drank the tea?
They're all partying up there in the spaceship right now. They're having a good time. They have more energy. They all look good, and they're still green, but they're looking good.
Oh gosh. Well.
Oh my gosh. It gets crazy.
Yeah, I just want to encourage everybody to go to getthetea.com, check out Ronnie's products, and get yourself feeling better. There's no reason if you're sitting around feeling sick, and like Ronnie said, it may not work instantly. It took you a long time to get sick in the first place. It may not work instantly. There are some products, to be honest, like the colostrum, if you have digestive problems, that almost do instantly work. But
the tea works instantly too on most people. It's like, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but everybody's body's different. So there may be some of you out there, don't get discouraged if it doesn't work right away. Keep at it and keep trying. But, there's no reason why you should sit around day in and day out feeling sick and, not being able to do the things that you did earlier in your life or that other people are doing. Get out there and do things that are going to make you feel better and learn to manage your stress. And if you're feeling better in your body, you're going to deal with your stress better too. Because if you're tired and sick,
another thing I really would like to say too is a lot of people, they take the tea and they, oh, you know what, made me go to the bathroom, and I don't like that. We got to put two and two together here. Okay. If you go to the bathroom because of the tea, that's not a bad thing. That is actually, it's working. It's a good thing. That means everything that came out of you, and we won't talk about how, but everything that came out of you is everything that you don't want in your body. These are the intruders. So everything that goes into that toilet is intruders. And so you need to look at it that way. Now, if you have a diarrhea movement, that means you're real bad. And that's okay. That's all right. It means it's going to go away. So you'll have maybe 3 to 5 days of the tea, and your bowel movements will all of a sudden begin to change, and it won't look really bad anymore, and you won't have diarrhea anymore, and because the intruders are gone. So just know that when you take the tea and all of a sudden, and if it's your stomach, say it cramps before you actually go, that means you're really bad. And that's okay. That's all right, because you just loosen up and lighten up on the tea. So whatever, you 2 8-ounce glasses a day, you just make it 2 6s, or you make it 1 8-ounce glass a day until the cramping goes away, until the intruders that are in your body go away. And then you can drink the tea every day, and you won't even know that it's doing anything bad. You just know that you're it's like washing your car every day. That's what it's like. It just washes your car every day. But the first 2 or 3 times, everybody notices. So, and this is why sometimes the tea is a weight loss, is because those intruders stay there and they pack it on. And you start getting fat, you start not feeling good, you start getting fatigue, and this tea will start working on that colon, and it'll be nice and clean, and everything, you'll feel better, and you'll be surprised how well your organs work, and we can go on and on and on. But so just the quickie is, if you have a bowel movement right away, it means the intruders are going bye-bye, and it means the tea's working.
That's right. So it's working if that happens. Don't, get discouraged. It's just doing what it's supposed to do. And Ronnie, why don't you tell them once again the YouTube channel, how they can get to your YouTube channel, please?
Health Matters Now. And because most times people go, yeah, that sounds good. I might have to get that tea sometime. My stomach hurts every single night. Maybe one of these days I'll get the colostrum. Let me tell you something. You want quick results. The tea is quick results. The colostrum is quick results. And so is the Ali C. Those are all three like now. And again, health matters what? Now. Health matters what? Now. So that's the important thing. I'm kind of funny there, aren't I? No.
So for everybody listening, getthetea.com, and his YouTube channel is youtube.com/health matters now. So getthetea.com and health matters now. Visit Ronnie and check out his videos, check out his products, and I promise you will not be sorry. In fact, you will be very happy. It'll be one of the best things you ever did in your life. Ronnie, do you have any final thoughts to share with the listeners before we go?
I love doing these shows. Can we keep doing them? Because I just get so excited about them. I probably a lot of energy for people because, I know there's a lot of guests that probably talk like this. You really need to get the tea. I'm not like that. And so you're not going to be bored at my videos. You're not going to be bored with the product. And hopefully you'll get the energy that I have, and you'll feel better. You will feel better. And for those of you that are sick out there, I'm so sorry. I do understand. I have a lot of compassion for you. That's why I'm trying to put these products together so that you don't have to be sick anymore. But you have to take the first step. And don't just take the products. Try to work on some exercise and try to work on not just the exercise, but your diet. Okay, diet we always think is diet. If somebody says the word diet, we always think of fat, thin. Diet is nutrition. In other words, what are you eating? What are you taking in? If you're looking at a bag of Doritos, which that tastes so good, your body says, okay, I'm still hungry. And the reason it's saying that is because that bag of Doritos is not registering in your stomach or your mind as food. It is an intruder. So the tea would take that right out. So I'll just tell you, use your diet, use your supplements, use your exercise, and watch what happens to your body. You'll live a lot longer and be a lot happier. And I want to thank you, Lynn, for having me on the show. I very much appreciate it.
Well, no, thank you, Ronnie, for coming on the show and for sharing your insights every month with my listeners. I have had numerous listeners write to me and tell me how your products have worked for them. In fact, I should get in touch with them and have them on sometime to talk about all the great things that it has done for them. So everybody listening, go to getthetea.com, and that's Ronnie's website for his products, and his YouTube is youtube.com/health matters now. So go check him out, and thank you again, Ronnie, for coming on and sharing all your great information. We love having you.
Thank you so much.